Hello everybody, this is Jasmina, and in this video I'm going to talk about using Feng Shui for love. And by this I mean more like the love for a long-term relationship rather than, for example, a one-night stand. So there are several areas in your house or your apartment that you can use to help you find love. And you don't use them all. You use one, usually at most, and that'll be good enough. Now you will have a peach blossom area or direction. You can use it either way. It is based on your year's animal sign. And again, we use the Chinese solar calculator. So if you're born in January or February, you have to be careful that you use the right calculator. And the free Joey app Bazi will do this for you. It will tell you what your year's animal sign is. Also, sometimes your house may have, or your apartment may have, a peach blossom sector. Actually, it's a subsector. It's only 15 degrees wide, whereas this is 45 degrees wide. It is based on your house or apartment building's sitting direction. We can also use the direction of your bed or the location of either the facing star 4 that's in your natal chart or the annual star 4, which moves around. This is a chart for your peach blossom, your personal peach blossom. So once you know your animal sign, you can find out which direction or sector or you want to be in. So let's say you're a dragon. If you can be in the west side of your house, that's good, but you can also face west if this is not convenient. And if you're missing the west sector from your home, in general, this is pretty weak. This is the house's peach blossom. Only half the houses have a peach blossom. And it's based on the sitting direction. So you can see it's a single sub-direction of each of these. And these are each 15 degrees wide. This one might be slightly confusing, but you go from the 352.5 to 360. And that's the same as 0. So then you go from 0 to 7.5. Now, when you're choosing your house, you should choose this on either a good direction in terms of success or possibly health, not this table. And anyway, this is a sitting. You can just flip it to find the facing, but you don't want to use this because it may get you too much attention and too much temptation. Now, you also have a personal love direction. And this is based on your Quan number. And again, you can use Joey App's app to do this. And I believe he calls it a life star, but it is your Quan number. And the bed direction is defined as the direction your head points when you're laying down. In general, beds should have a solid wall from floor to ceiling behind them. Now, if you have to turn your bed at a 45-degree angle to your walls to meet this bed direction, you can place a tall screen behind your headboard. And that's okay so long as you have no windows behind that screen. It's not as good as a real wall, but it will do. The last possibility is using a star 4. It can be the facing star in your natal flying star chart or the annual star. And you should look at what other stars or what other numbers you have in that sector, either the annual or the facing, and that will tell you which is the better one to use in a given year. Now, you do not need to use all 4 of these activations. In fact, it's best if you only do one, and one at a time is very good. And you would only have to go to a second one if the first one doesn't work. Now, you may not have a house that has a house peach blossom, so that one could be out. And if you have a missing sector that is where your personal peach blossom is, then you're probably left with this. So there are always ways, as far as I can tell, There's always ways to do this. I haven't seen a house that can't meet at least one of these. Now, there are some requirements to activate your peach blossom, whether it's the house, your personal one, or your bedroom, or your star 4 sector, whether it's your natal or annual. The area should be clutter-free. It must receive chi from your main door, and of course I do this for you. And it also must be in a good room, that is not in a laundry or a bathroom. If you have it in a storeroom, you can possibly convert it as long as you can put a desk in there. You could even use it as a storeroom as long as the stuff that you store there is in containers that are decorative, so it doesn't look cluttered, it looks neat and tidy. That's okay. One of the best things is a live flowering plant, but you can also use a water activation because water helps grow wood. Star 4 is a wood star, so that helps. And that's especially true if you're using the star 4. Now, there are a lot of practitioners to say to use a certain type of vase and have cut flowers in it and all that stuff. I don't recommend this because when you cut a flower, you started its dying process and it doesn't last long, whereas a live flowering plant can last a long time. Now, the plant doesn't have to flower all the time. It just has to be capable of flowering, and it's still okay. You also have to mitigate any sha qi that can't be mitigated any other way. So one of the perhaps more common internal types is something like this, a room that looks a bit like this. You have a notch where the door is located. Now you could have a bed or desk here. You could have it here. You could have a desk here, but you cannot have a bed here. You just don't want your desk or your bed to have this line be crossed. Now this line is 45 degrees to this wall and this wall. So that's 45, that's 45. And as long as you're avoiding this, you've avoided the sha qi. And this is not uncommon at all. You also want to be sure you don't have any visible beams over your bed or your desk where you're doing your work. And this is true for anything. Visible beams are things you can truly see. You will have beams because you have a roof. You will have beams over your bed, but they'll be above your drywall or the gypsum wallboard. And as long as you can't see them, it's fine. That's the way it works in Feng Shui. Again and again, this is the way it works. You absolutely do not want to have dead plants in that room. That will basically destroy the activation of a peach blossom. Now, when you are communicating with someone who you're interested in, it's good to face your love direction. If you're uploading your profile to a dating site, you want to be facing that direction when you upload it, and you also want to face that direction when you're looking for others at that dating site. And this helps you have a better affinity to people who would be good for you. Now, all this is true of a bedroom too, with a couple exceptions. First off, if you have an ensuite bathroom, if you can see the toilet or a vanity mirror, you want to keep that door closed to that room, to your ensuite. It's best not to have any mirrors in your bedroom in general. It actually doesn't let you sleep so well. However, if you have like say, a full-length mirror to help you in dressing, you can actually cover it when you're not using it. And that would be okay, because then it doesn't reflect all this energy. Also, you do not want to do water activation for more than 2 weeks because that tends to lead to insomnia. And if you're a light sleeper, you don't want to use any water activation. Now, water activation is slow-moving water, but it needs to be quiet. So it's the energy it produces that can disrupt your sleep, not the noise. So I just want to be clear about that. But having a live flowering plant in your bedroom is very good. Again, it doesn't have to flower all the time. It just has to be capable of flowering. And the last thing I want to talk about is that if you're looking for somebody, you should not be looking for someone to quote unquote complete you, because this means you're not complete in and of yourself. So if you feel like this, what we do is we also work on your self-image. And we can do it either before or in addition to activating your peach blossom. It depends on how severe this is. Sometimes it's better to do it before, but sometimes it's more like a realization, and then we can do it in addition. I think everybody knows this, but to find love, you have to be able to love others more or less the way they are. You can change small little habits here and there, but you're not going to change most adults. They're the way they are. And if you can't handle the way they are, you need to find somebody else. And there is somebody out there for you. I am confident of that. You just have to be basically patient enough and work hard enough on yourself, and you can find somebody that's just right for you. So that's basically it. I'd like to thank you for watching. Please feel free to contact me here if you have any questions, or visit my ad-free website. Also, please subscribe if you would like to get regular updates for the monthly stars. And also, I will have other new videos on a regular basis. Thank you again for watching.